Before we begin, take a moment to get comfortable and let your breathing slow. If you enjoy peaceful anime stories like this one, please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and leaving a comment to let me know which anime you'd like to hear next. Your support helps this channel continue creating calm, relaxing stories for rest and sleep. Now, let the day fade away, and let the story begin. Serena drifts through her mornings in a familiar rush. Late again, hair half-brushed, toast clutched between her teeth as she runs. She trips, she complains, she laughs, and somehow always makes it to school just in time. Her life is small and ordinary, filled with quizzes she forgets to study for and naps she wishes would last longer. Nothing about her feels special, and she prefers it that way. One quiet afternoon, while wandering home beneath a pale sky, Serena hears a faint cry. Tucked beside the road is a black cat with a crescent moon on her forehead, one eye injured and shining with quiet intelligence. Serena pauses, hesitates, then gently helps the cat, unaware that this simple kindness is the moment her life begins to change. That night, the cat appears again, speaking with calm certainty. Her name is Luna. She tells Serena that she is not ordinary at all, that she is Sailor Moon, a guardian chosen to protect the world from a rising darkness known as the Negaverse. Fear rushes in faster than understanding. Serena protests, cries, insists there must be a mistake. But when danger appears, instinct takes over. Light surrounds her. The night seems to hold its breath. Serena transforms for the first time, her heart pounding, her hands trembling. She is clumsy, overwhelmed, and terrified, but she stands her ground. In that moment, beneath the glow of the moon, Sailor Moon is born. And though she does not yet understand it, the fate of the Moon Kingdom, the shadow of Queen Beryl, and the quiet promise of love and sacrifice have all begun to stir. Morning always seems to arrive too quickly for Serena. Sunlight slips through the curtains while her alarm rings far too late, sending her into a familiar panic. She stumbles from bed, hair tangled, uniform half-fastened, already certain she is behind. Breakfast is rushed, shoes are mismatched, and she bolts out the door with a quiet groan, promising herself that tomorrow will somehow be different. It never is. Yet there is something gentle about these mornings. Ordinary, predictable, safe. School passes slowly, filled with daydreams and forgotten answers. Serena's thoughts drift more than they focus, her eyes drawn to the window, to the sky, to anything beyond her desk. When the final bell rings, she wanders home at an easy pace, the world calm and unassuming around her. Along the sidewalk, beneath the soft hush of the afternoon, she hears a faint cry. Curled near the road is a small black cat, one eye injured, a crescent moon marking her forehead like a quiet symbol. Serena kneels without thinking, her expression softening. She helps the cat gently, unaware that this simple moment of kindness carries unseen weight. The cat watches her closely, as if memorizing her face. That night, the air feels different, still, almost expectant. The cat appears again, no longer silent. She speaks Serena's name with calm certainty. Luna. She explains that darkness is gathering, that a force called the Negaverse has begun to stir, draining energy from the world. Serena laughs nervously, then shakes her head. It all sounds impossible. She insists there has been some mistake. But when danger rises, when shadows move where they should not, fear gives way to instinct. Light blooms around her, warm and radiant, wrapping her like moonlight reflected on water. Her heart races as the world seems to slow. In a breath between moments, Serena transforms. She stands changed, still trembling, still uncertain, yet unable to turn away. She does not feel brave. She does not feel ready. But she remains. Under the quiet glow of the moon, Sailor Moon is born. Not from strength or confidence, but from compassion and the simple choice to stand when it matters. Somewhere beyond the night, Queen Beryl watches. And though Serena cannot yet feel it, the echoes of a lost kingdom, a forgotten love, and a long, sorrowful past have begun to awaken once more. The days that follow feel unsettled, as though the city itself is holding its breath. Serena returns to her routines: school, homework she forgets to finish, afternoons spent wandering with no real destination. But something lingers beneath it all. The moon seems brighter at night. Shadows stretch just a little too far. And Luna watches her closely, patient and unyielding. Strange incidents begin to ripple through the city. Crowds gather around sudden spectacles, performances, promotions, promises of beauty or success, each one drawing people in, draining something unseen from them. Serena stumbles into these moments by accident, always at the wrong place, always at the wrong time. Fear grips her every time the darkness reveals itself. Her first instinct is still to run. Yet each time, she stops. When the Negaverse sends its creatures into the open, the air grows heavy, thick with an unnatural chill. Serena's hands shake as Luna urges her forward. The transformation comes again, smoother than before, but no less overwhelming. Sailor Moon appears beneath the glow of the streetlights, her heart pounding louder than the chaos around her. She fights clumsily. She trips, cries out, and doubts herself at every turn. But even as fear pulls at her, compassion anchors her in place. She shields strangers without knowing why. She refuses to abandon people who cannot protect themselves. Her power responds not to anger, but to emotion, to worry, to kindness, to the ache she feels when others are in danger. Between battles, Luna speaks softly of the past, of a shining kingdom that once existed on the moon, peaceful and luminous, of a great tragedy that erased it from history, of Queen Beryl watching from the shadows, gathering strength and servants, searching for something called the silver crystal. Serena listens, though much of it feels distant, like a half-remembered dream. She does not feel like a warrior from a lost kingdom. She feels like a girl barely holding herself together. But each night, as the moon rises and the city grows quiet, Sailor Moon stands once more, still frightened, still unsure, yet slowly learning that courage does not mean the absence of fear. It means staying, even when fear whispers that it would be easier to disappear. One afternoon, as rain taps softly against the city streets, Serena notices a girl sitting alone inside a quiet cafe. She is calm and composed, blue hair framing a thoughtful expression, eyes focused on a book as though the rest of the world has gently faded away. Her name is Amy, and there is a stillness about her that Serena finds comforting without quite understanding why. Their paths cross again soon after, not by chance, but by the slow pull of fate. When another Negaverse trap unfolds, subtle, clever, and quietly dangerous, Amy is caught within it. The air shifts, heavy with unseen pressure, and Serena feels that familiar tightening in her chest. Luna's voice is calm, almost reassuring, guiding Serena forward once more. As Sailor Moon emerges beneath the dim glow of the streetlights, something stirs within Amy as well. Water ripples where there should be none. Light gathers, cool and clear, wrapping around her like a tide responding to the moon. When it fades, Sailor Mercury stands in her place, graceful, composed, eyes steady and aware. Where Sailor Moon moves with emotion, Sailor Mercury moves with clarity. She analyzes the battlefield quietly, speaking with gentle confidence, her words grounding Serena when panic threatens to take over. Together, they face the darkness, their movements uncertain but synchronized, learning how to fight side by side. After the battle, the rain continues to fall, washing the streets clean. Amy smiles softly, as though this strange new truth fits her more naturally than expected. Serena feels something settle within her, a sense of relief, of balance. She is no longer alone. Somewhere deep within the Negaverse, Queen Beryl observes this new awakening with narrowed eyes. Another guardian has risen. Another piece of the past is returning. And with each reunion, the quiet war moves one step closer to the surface. Serena's days slowly begin to shift, no longer defined only by school bells and hurried mornings. There is a growing awareness now, a feeling that the world carries hidden layers just beneath its surface. Luna's presence has become constant, and Amy walks beside her more often, her calm voice a steady counterbalance to Serena's restless energy. At a quiet shrine, tucked away from the noise of the city, Serena meets Ray. She stands with confidence, her posture straight, her eyes sharp and observant. There is something intense about her, something that feels old and watchful, as though she is listening to things others cannot hear. From the moment they speak, sparks fly. Ray's blunt honesty clashes with Serena's emotional reactions, and their conversations often end in arguments that echo through the shrine grounds. When darkness seeps into the shrine, the air grows tense and heavy. Ancient wards tremble, and unseen flames flicker at the edges of the world. Luna's voice lowers, recognizing the signs. Serena feels the familiar pull of destiny tightening once more. As danger reveals itself, Ray does not hesitate. Fire answers her call, surrounding her with warmth and strength. Light flashes, and Sailor Mars stands where the Shrine Maiden once did, confident, focused, and unwavering. Her presence feels powerful, disciplined, and deeply rooted. The battle that follows is fierce but controlled. Sailor Mars moves with precision, her flames cutting through the darkness. Sailor Moon falters, nearly overwhelmed by fear, but Sailor Mercury's calm guidance and Sailor Mars's steady resolve pull her back into focus. Together, the three guardians push the shadows away. When the night grows quiet again, tension still lingers between Serena and Ray, but something stronger rests beneath it. Trust begins to form, slow and unspoken. Another guardian has awakened, and with her arrival, the circle grows. The darkness does not retreat quietly. As the Sailor Scouts grow stronger, the Negaverse grows more restless. Deep within its shadowed halls, Queen Beryl watches with cold impatience, her presence heavy and unforgiving. Failure is not tolerated. One by one, her generals are sent forward, each convinced they will succeed where the others have fallen. The city feels the change before Serena fully understands it. The traps set by the Negaverse become more calculated, more personal. Ordinary places, shopping districts, offices, quiet gathering spots, are twisted into tools of deception. People are drawn in by promises they barely realize they want, their energy siphoned away while smiles remain fixed on their faces. Sailor Moon feels the weight of it all pressing down on her. Each battle leaves her a little more tired, a little more uncertain. She still cries. She still wishes for an easier life. Yet when danger rises, her feet carry her forward before her doubts can stop her. Amy and Ray stand beside her now, familiar presences in the chaos. Their movements are more confident, their trust in one another growing with every encounter. Sailor Mercury's calm strategies soften Sailor Moon's panic. Sailor Mars's fire burns away hesitation, reminding them all why they fight. Between battles, Luna speaks more openly of the Negaverse's inner workings, of Queen Beryl's obsession with power, of her generals, each driven by ambition, fear, or loyalty twisted into something sharp and cruel. The name of the silver crystal is whispered more often now, lingering in the air like a distant echo. Serena listens quietly. Though much of it feels overwhelming, something within her is changing. She begins to notice that she does not run as far as she once did, that she stays standing a moment longer, that even in fear, she feels a quiet determination taking root. Far away, Queen Beryl senses this shift. The bond between the Sailor Scouts is strengthening, and that unity troubles her more than any single battle ever could. The war is no longer distant. It is moving steadily closer, carried forward by hearts that refuse to surrender. Tighter, 3 hearts now bound by fate, standing against a darkness that continues to watch from afar. A sudden storm rolls through the city one afternoon, rain falling hard against windows and sidewalks alike. Serena takes shelter beneath an overhang, watching the world blur and soften beneath the downpour. It is there that she notices a tall girl standing alone nearby, her posture strong, her expression distant, as though she is carrying something heavy but unseen. Her name is Lita. There is an undeniable strength about her, not only in the way she moves, but in the gentleness she shows when speaking. She helps Serena without hesitation, her voice warm and steady, and for a moment the rain feels less cold. When the Negaverse strikes again, the air shifts with sudden violence. Lightning cracks across the sky, far too close, far too deliberate. The familiar fear tightens in Serena's chest, but Luna's voice guides her forward. This time, the transformation feels different, less frantic, more focused. As Sailor Moon steps into the chaos, something awakens within Lita as well. Thunder responds to her presence, wrapping around her like a living force. Light flashes, and Sailor Jupiter stands tall and unwavering, power humming quietly beneath her calm exterior. The battle is intense, lightning tearing through the darkness as Sailor Jupiter moves with surprising grace. Sailor Moon stumbles but does not fall. Sailor Mercury and Sailor Mars move beside them, no longer strangers, but a coordinated force. When the storm finally passes, the rain softens to a gentle drizzle. Lita smiles, a quiet, almost shy expression, speaking of simple dreams, of cooking, of love, of a peaceful life untouched by battle. Serena listens closely, comforted by the reminder that even warriors can long for softness. With Lita's arrival, the group feels more complete, their bond stronger and more balanced. And though Queen Beryl watches from the shadows with growing frustration, she cannot deny the truth. Another guardian has risen, and the light opposing her grows steadily brighter. As the days pass, Serena begins to sense a pattern, an unseen thread weaving through her battles, appearing most clearly in moments of greatest danger. Whenever fear threatens to overwhelm her, a quiet presence arrives, calm and composed, as if summoned by the moon itself. He appears without warning, standing on rooftops or beneath the glow of street lamps, his cape drifting softly in the night air. Tuxedo Mask. He offers no long explanations, only brief words of reassurance before throwing a single precise rose that cuts through the darkness. Then, just as quickly as he arrives, he disappears, leaving Serena with more questions than answers. There is something familiar about him, something that pulls at her heart in a way she cannot explain. When he looks at her, the chaos of the world seems to quiet, if only for a moment. Serena does not understand why his presence steadies her hands or slows her racing thoughts, but she clings to that calm whenever it appears. The Negaverse takes notice. Their attacks grow sharper, more deliberate, pushing the Sailor Scouts harder than before. Battles stretch longer into the night, and exhaustion settles deep in Serena's bones. Yet, each time doubt whispers that she cannot go on, Tuxedo Mask's calm voice echoes in her memory, urging her forward. Amy observes these moments with quiet curiosity, analyzing the timing and precision of his appearances. Ray senses something older, something spiritual, tied to fate and memory. Lita simply trusts what she feels, that he is an ally, and that his heart aligns with theirs. Luna, however, watches with knowing eyes. She does not speak yet of what she suspects, of the past stirring beneath the surface. Instead, she waits, allowing events to unfold in their own time. Above the city, beneath the pale glow of the moon, Serena stands a little taller now. She still fears the darkness, still doubts herself, but she is no longer alone. Somewhere in the night, a quiet guardian watches over her, and the bond between them grows stronger with every unspoken moment. The Negaverse shifts its approach, trading brute force for something more subtle. One of Queen Beryl's generals, Nephrite, begins to watch the city differently, not only as a source of energy, but as a place filled with people who live, hope, and care. In his quiet observations, something unexpected begins to change. Serena notices it first in small ways. An enemy hesitates. A trap feels incomplete. A battle ends sooner than expected. Behind the chaos, Nephrite's attention lingers on a single human life, and that attention softens him. For the first time, a general of the Negaverse begins to question the darkness he serves. This hesitation does not go unnoticed. Queen Beryl's patience wears thin. The halls of the Negaverse feel colder, sharper, charged with punishment waiting to fall. Loyalty is demanded, not earned, and doubt is treated as betrayal. When Nephrite finally turns away from the Negaverse, choosing compassion over power, the cost is swift and unforgiving. He is struck down by the very darkness he once upheld, erased for daring to care. His end is quiet, tragic, and final. The Sailor Scouts feel the weight of it even without knowing every detail. Serena senses the loss like a distant ache, a reminder that the enemy they face is ruthless, offering no mercy, not even to its own. The reality of the war settles deeper into her heart. Luna speaks softly that night, explaining what Nephrite's fate truly means. Queen Beryl does not forgive weakness. She does not allow change. The path the Sailor Scouts walk will demand sacrifice. Serena listens in silence, staring up at the moon. For the first time, she understands that this fight is not only about defeating monsters. It is about protecting the fragile, fleeting moments of kindness that darkness seeks to erase. And she quietly promises herself that she will never forget what Nephrite's choice revealed. Even in shadow, the heart can still choose the light. Time moves gently forward, and with it comes a quiet confidence Serena did not realize she was building. The battles no longer feel like sudden intrusions, but like solemn duties woven into her days. She still sighs, still complains, still wishes for normalcy. But beneath it all, there is steadiness now, a growing sense of purpose. It is during this calmer stretch that Mina finally steps fully into the light. Cheerful and radiant, she has always seemed to move through the world with ease, her smile effortless and bright. When she reveals herself as Sailor Venus, the truth settles naturally into place, as though it has been waiting all along. She speaks of her time fighting alone, of carrying the role of leader before the others awakened. With Mina's arrival, something important changes. The group feels complete. The balance shifts. Their movements in battle become smoother, their trust deeper, their conversations quieter and more understanding. Laughter returns between fights, small moments of peace stitched carefully between danger. Yet, even as unity strengthens, the Negaverse grows more desperate. Queen Beryl's presence presses harder against the world, her obsession with the silver crystal burning hotter than before. The attacks come closer together now, sharper and more reckless, as though time itself is running short. Luna watches the Sailor Scouts with quiet pride. This is what she has been waiting for. The Guardians reunited, their bonds forged not by destiny alone, but by choice. Somewhere within Serena, memories stir faintly, like reflections on water, hinting at a truth still just out of reach. Above them all, the moon continues its slow, watchful path across the sky. And with each passing night, the distance between the present and the past grows thinner, preparing to reveal a truth that will change everything. The air grows heavier with each passing day, as though the city itself senses what is approaching. Serena feels it most at night, when dreams come uninvited. Fragments of silver light, a palace beneath a glowing sky, a sorrow she cannot place. She wakes with her heart racing, unable to explain why the moon feels both comforting and unbearably sad. Queen Beryl's focus sharpens. The Negaverse no longer hides behind distractions and illusions. Its attacks become deliberate, aimed not only at gathering energy, but at breaking the Sailor Scouts' resolve. Battles arrive suddenly, cutting into ordinary days without warning. The stakes feel higher now, the danger closer, more personal. During one such confrontation, something shifts. The silver crystal responds to Serena in a way it never has before. Faint at first, like a whisper, then stronger, pulsing with a familiar warmth. Luna watches closely, her expression solemn. She knows what this means, even if Serena does not yet. As Sailor Moon fights, memories press closer to the surface. She feels an ache she cannot name when Tuxedo Mask appears beside her, his presence stirring emotions deeper than fear. Their eyes meet, and for a brief moment, the battlefield fades away, replaced by something ancient and tender. After the battle, the night grows quiet again. The Sailor Scouts gather, exhausted but determined, sensing that the war has reached a turning point. Luna finally speaks the words she has been holding back, that the Moon Princess is near, that the past is no longer content to remain buried. Serena listens in silence, staring up at the glowing moon. She does not yet understand what she is about to remember, only that something precious and painful is waiting just beyond the edge of her awareness. The calm before the storm settles gently over the city, as fate draws nearer to revealing its truth. The truth begins to surface not all at once, but in quiet waves. Serena finds herself drawn to places she has never visited before, yet somehow recognizes. A hidden corner beneath the night sky, a stillness that feels familiar rather than strange. Each step toward understanding feels heavy, as though her heart remembers something her mind has forgotten. The silver crystal reacts more strongly now, responding to Serena's emotions with a gentle but undeniable pull. Luna watches closely, her voice careful as she explains what little she can. Long ago, the Moon Kingdom stood as a beacon of peace, ruled by a princess whose heart was as gentle as the light that bathed her world. That princess loved deeply, and that love would one day bring both hope and tragedy. During a battle touched by moonlight, the memories finally break through. The world seems to pause as Serena's past life unfolds before her eyes. She sees herself not as a clumsy schoolgirl, but as Princess Serenity, standing beneath a silver sky, her heart bound to a prince from Earth, Prince Endymion. The realization leaves her shaken. The weight of that lost life settles quietly over her, filling her with sorrow she never asked for, and love she cannot deny. Tuxedo Mask steps forward, his own memories awakening in the same moment. He is Darien, and he remembers everything. The battlefield fades, leaving only silence and understanding between them. Their connection is no longer a mystery. It is a promise carried across lifetimes. But with remembrance comes danger. Queen Beryl senses the awakening and turns her full attention towards Serena, knowing now exactly who stands in her way. As the night deepens, Serena stands beneath the moon, no longer able to deny who she is or what she has lost. She is Sailor Moon. She is Princess Serenity. And the final chapter of this long-forgotten war has begun to unfold. The memories do not bring comfort. They arrive heavy and sharp, pressing against Serena's heart with the weight of a life she never chose to remember. She moves through her days quietly now, her laughter softer, her thoughts drifting often toward the moon. The joy of the present feels fragile beside the sorrow of the past. Darien struggles as well. His calm presence fractures under the strain of remembrance, his thoughts pulled between duty, love, and loss. Queen Beryl senses this vulnerability and reaches for it, twisting his awakening memories into chains. In a cruel turn, Darien is taken, his will bent, his eyes clouded by darkness. When Serena faces him again, it is not as an ally, but as an enemy. His voice is distant, unfamiliar, and each word cuts deeper than any weapon. Sailor Moon hesitates, her heart refusing to accept what her eyes see. She cannot bring herself to fight him, even as the danger grows. The Sailor Scouts stand ready at her side, urging her forward, protecting her when her strength falters. Amy's calm voice breaks through the chaos. Ray's fire shields them from harm. Lita and Mina stand firm, unwavering. Their presence reminds Serena that she is not alone, not now, and not ever. With trembling resolve, Serena reaches for the silver crystal. She does not attack. She calls out instead, through tears, through fear, through love that has survived lifetimes. The darkness recoils, shaken by something it cannot understand. Though Darien is not yet free, something within him stirs. The hold on his heart weakens, just enough to give hope. And as the battle fades into uneasy quiet, Serena realizes a painful truth. The final confrontation will demand more than strength. It will demand everything she has ever loved. Queen Beryl no longer hides behind distance or deception. With Darien under her influence, she reveals the full truth of the past, forcing it into the open like a wound that never healed. Through visions and cruel whispers, the story of the Moon Kingdom unfolds in painful clarity. Long ago, jealousy and desire twisted into rage. Queen Beryl, consumed by longing and bitterness, turned against the Moon Kingdom, drawing upon the dark power of Queen Metalia. The peaceful silver world was torn apart in fire and shadow. Princess Serenity and Prince Endymion were struck down together, their love ending in tragedy beneath a shattered sky. As these memories resurface, Serena feels the grief of that moment as if it were happening all over again. The sorrow is vast, overwhelming, stretching far beyond a single lifetime. She understands now why the moon has always felt so close, why her heart has always carried an ache she could never explain. Darien's struggle intensifies. The darkness tightens its grip, pulling him further from himself, using his pain as a weapon. Serena reaches for him again and again, her voice steady despite the fear trembling beneath it. She believes in him, not as a prince from the past, but as the person standing before her now. The Sailor Scouts brace themselves as the Negaverse prepares for its final stand. There is no turning back. The truth has been revealed, the past laid bare, and the path forward is clear, even if it leads through loss. Above them, the moon glows quietly, unchanged by time or sorrow. And beneath its light, Serena gathers her resolve, knowing that the end of this war will demand courage greater than anything she has faced before. The night grows unnaturally still as the Sailor Scouts move toward the heart of the Negaverse. The air feels heavy, pressed flat by an unseen force, as though the world itself is bracing for what is to come. There are no distractions now, no illusions meant to lure or confuse. Only a single path forward, dimly lit and unforgiving. Serena walks at the center, the silver crystal warm against her chest, pulsing softly in time with her heartbeat. Each step feels deliberate, weighted with everything she has learned and everything she has lost. Amy's presence is calm and steady beside her, eyes focused, mind sharp. Ray's expression is serious, her fire held quietly in check. Lita's strength feels solid and reassuring, while Mina's confidence moves through the group like a gentle current. They are met by resistance almost immediately. The remaining forces of the Negaverse rise to meet them, desperate and fierce. The battles are relentless, draining both strength and spirit. Each Sailor Scout pushes forward despite exhaustion, driven not by orders or destiny, but by trust in one another. Blows are exchanged, light clashes with shadow, and the echoes of conflict ripple through the dark corridors. Serena falters more than once, her fear rising as the pressure builds, but she is never allowed to fall. Hands steady her. Voices call her back. Together, they move as one. At the edge of the battlefield, the presence of Queen Beryl looms closer. Cold, commanding, filled with certainty that this will be the end. The Sailor Scouts press on, knowing there is no retreat left behind them. The final confrontation waits just ahead, silent and immense, as the last moments of peace slip quietly away. The battle reaches its breaking point deep within the Negaverse, where light struggles to exist at all. The air trembles with power, thick and suffocating, as Queen Beryl's influence presses down from every direction. Each step forward feels heavier than the last, as though the darkness itself is trying to force the Sailor Scouts to their knees. The enemy strikes without mercy. One by one, the Sailor Scouts are pulled into separate confrontations, each facing overwhelming force meant to isolate and destroy them. Amy is the first to fall back, her calm resolve unshaken even as she expends every last ounce of strength to shield Serena from harm. Her voice remains steady, urging Serena onward, even as she disappears into the shadows. Ray follows soon after, flames flaring bright against the darkness. Her fire burns fiercely, not with anger, but with determination. She stands her ground until the very end, trusting Serena to carry on when she no longer can. Lita fights with thunder and strength, refusing to yield, her heart fixed on protecting the others. Even as exhaustion overtakes her, she smiles softly, reminding Serena that strength is not only about power, but about kindness and resolve. Mina remains last beside Serena, her confidence unwavering. As Sailor Venus, she steps forward without hesitation, accepting her role fully. With a final, resolute glance, she moves to protect Serena, giving everything she has so that Sailor Moon can reach Queen Beryl. When the echoes of battle finally fade, Serena stands alone. The silence that follows is vast and aching. The voices of her friends linger like distant stars, their faith wrapping around her even in their absence. Her hands tremble, her heart breaking beneath the weight of loss, but she does not turn back. Alone in the darkness, Sailor Moon takes one final step forward, carrying the hopes of everyone who stood beside her toward the fate waiting just ahead. The darkness ahead feels endless, stretching outward like a void without shape or mercy. Serena moves forward slowly, each step unsteady, her breath shallow and uneven. The absence of her friends is louder than any battle, an aching silence that presses against her chest, threatening to steal the strength she has left. Queen Beryl waits at the center of it all, her presence vast and consuming. She stands tall, wrapped in shadow and certainty, her voice echoing through the emptiness with cold confidence. She speaks of power, of destiny, of a world that bends only to those strong enough to claim it. Beneath her words, the presence of Queen Metalia churns, ancient and relentless, feeding on despair. Serena's hands tremble as she listens. Fear floods her, sharper than ever before. She thinks of the laughter she shared with her friends, of small, ordinary moments that now feel impossibly distant. Tears blur her vision, falling silently as the weight of everything she has lost settles fully into her heart. The silver crystal responds to her grief, glowing softly at first, then brighter, pulsing in time with her pain. Serena does not feel powerful. She feels broken. But even in that brokenness, something deeper stirs. Love, unyielding and pure, refusing to be extinguished. She lifts her head, meeting Queen Beryl's gaze. Her voice shakes as she speaks, not with anger, but with sorrow and resolve. She will not surrender, not to darkness, not to hatred, not even to despair. In that quiet moment, surrounded by shadow, Sailor Moon stands alone. But she stands unbroken, her heart still reaching for the light, even as the final confrontation begins. The darkness surges forward, pressing in from every side, as though sensing Serena's hesitation and trying to swallow it whole. Queen Beryl's power swells, fueled by Metalia's endless hunger, and the air vibrates with a low, unsettling hum. It feels as though the world itself is unraveling, pulled apart by grief and rage. Serena's knees nearly give way beneath the weight of it all. The tears she has been holding back finally fall, quiet and uncontrollable. She thinks of Amy's calm voice, of Ray's fire burning bright and steady, of Lita's gentle strength, of Mina's unwavering confidence. Their faces rise in her memory, one after another, clear and warm against the cold void surrounding her. The silver crystal responds to those thoughts, glowing brighter now, no longer trembling with uncertainty. Its light spreads softly at first, then stronger, filling the darkness with a gentle radiance. Serena clutches it to her chest, her sobs slowing as something within her steadies. This power does not come from anger. It never has. It comes from love, deep, aching, and impossibly strong. Queen Beryl recoils, her certainty cracking for the first time. She lashes out, trying to smother the light, but it slips through her grasp like moonlight through shadows. Serena stands taller now, her fear still present, but no longer in control. With a quiet resolve, Sailor Moon raises the silver crystal, its glow illuminating the emptiness around her. In that moment, grief transforms into purpose. Loss becomes strength, and the light she carries begins to push back against the darkness, preparing to bring the long, painful war to its end. The light spreads outward, slow and steady, filling the darkness with a warmth that feels almost gentle. Queen Beryl cries out as the power she clung to begins to turn against her. The shadows around her twist and collapse, unable to withstand the purity of the silver crystal's glow. Serena does not shout. She does not strike in anger. Her voice is soft, trembling, carried by sorrow rather than rage. She wishes for the fighting to end, not just this battle, but all the pain that led to it. The silver crystal answers that wish, shining brighter with every beat of her heart. Queen Beryl is consumed by the very darkness she embraced, her form unraveling as Metalia's influence is stripped away. The emptiness begins to crack, light pouring through the fractures like dawn breaking through night. The oppressive weight lifts, replaced by a vast, aching stillness. As the darkness fades, Serena feels her strength slipping. The silver crystal's glow softens, and the world begins to blur. She sinks to the ground, surrounded by quiet, her heart heavy with loss, but peaceful in knowing the battle is finally over. The Negaverse collapses around her, dissolving into nothingness. And in that silence, the echoes of her friends' voices feel closer now, warm, familiar, waiting just beyond the light. The silence stretches on, vast and weightless, as though the world is resting after a long, painful breath. Serena lies still, the glow of the silver crystal fading to a soft, gentle warmth against her chest. The darkness that once pressed in from every side is gone, leaving behind only emptiness and calm. Slowly, light returns, not harsh or sudden, but tender, like morning easing into the sky. Shapes begin to form within it, familiar and comforting. Voices drift through the quiet, faint at first, then clearer, carrying warmth and reassurance. One by one, the Sailor Scouts return. Amy's calm presence settles beside her, steady and composed as ever. Ray's fire no longer burns, replaced by quiet strength and watchful care. Lita's warmth feels grounding, solid, and kind. Mina's smile shines softly, full of relief and unspoken pride. They are together again, standing in the gentle aftermath of a battle that nearly took everything. Serena stirs, her eyes opening slowly. For a moment, confusion flickers across her face, followed by overwhelming relief. She reaches out, and hands meet hers, real, solid, present. The grief remains, but it no longer stands alone. It is shared, understood, and softened by the presence of those who never truly left her. Around them, the remnants of the Negaverse dissolve completely, leaving nothing behind. The war has ended. The darkness has been quieted. And in the stillness that follows, the bond between the Sailor Scouts feels stronger than ever, forged not by destiny alone, but by love, sacrifice, and trust that endured until the very end. Morning arrives gently, as though the world itself is careful not to disturb the peace it has reclaimed. Serena wakes beneath a familiar sky, sunlight warm and quiet, the chaos of battle already feeling distant, like a dream fading at the edges. The city moves on around her, unaware of how close it once came to being lost. Life slowly settles back into its ordinary rhythms. School resumes. Friends laugh. Days pass without shadows creeping in where they do not belong. The memories of the Moon Kingdom, of Queen Beryl, of sacrifice and sorrow, begin to soften. Details blur. Faces from another lifetime fade into something felt rather than remembered. Serena returns to being herself again. Still clumsy, still emotional, still late more often than she would like. Yet something within her has changed. A quiet strength remains, steady and unshaken, even if she cannot explain where it came from. The moon still draws her gaze at night, filling her with a sense of comfort and familiarity she cannot name. The Sailor Scouts remain close, bound by friendship that feels deeper than coincidence. Though the past sleeps within them now, its echoes linger in small moments, in trust, in loyalty, in the way they stand together without question. And somewhere beyond memory, beneath the eternal glow of the moon, the promise endures. That even in the face of darkness, love can rise, gentle and unwavering, and bring the world safely back into the light once more. Thank you for spending this quiet time here. If this story brought you a sense of calm, you're always welcome to like the video, subscribe, and leave a comment sharing which anime story you'd like to hear next. New peaceful stories are added regularly, each one told slowly and softly to help you unwind and rest. For now, let your thoughts drift, your breathing slow, and the night carry you gently into sleep. Good night, and sweet dreams.